Hey everyone, this is Holly Knutson. I'm a functional health practitioner from Utah, and today I'd like to talk about the hourly benefits of fasting. It's an established fact that going without food is therapeutic. What you may not know is the hour-by-hour benefits of fasting. For instance, what are the hourly benefits of fasting for 6 hours, 16 hours, or 48 hours? In terms of its impact on blood sugar, insulin, liver glycogen, human growth hormone, fat burning, glucagon, and the magical process of autophagy. Stay with me as I break down the process. Here's a brief overview of what happens physiologically when you fast. The human body runs on energy. Energy is needed both in a fasted and non-fasted state. The body's main energy source is glucose, and we get this from eating carbohydrates. Both the liver and muscles store glucose in the form of glycogen. This stored glucose is a secondary energy source, and it's what enables us to sleep through the night without needing to eat. Approximately 1,200 calories of glycogen are stored in the muscular system and liver. The liver stores simple sugars, whereas complex carbs are stored in the muscle. How much glycogen you're able to store is in direct correlation to how much muscle mass you have. When glycogen becomes depleted, the body transitions into a fasted state. Energy is then created via a process called gluconeogenesis, and this is when energy is made using protein and fat. Since no glucose is coming in, energy must still be made, and with glycogen no longer available, fat becomes the preferred energy source. This is why weight loss is possible when you fast. Over time, when fat can no longer be used, the body enters starvation mode, and this causes the metabolism to slow down, and the body then resorts to burning muscle for fuel. This scenario typically happens after weeks of fasting. My preferred method of fasting is intermittent fasting, which is more sustainable and strategic than traditional fasting. The OMAD diet is another method of fasting where you eat just one meal a day. Let's talk a little bit about human growth hormone. This hormone is secreted from the pituitary gland and is responsible for regulating growth and body composition, protein synthesis, fat burning, muscle and bone growth, and fat and sugar metabolism. It regulates the growth of every cell in the body. It is the hormone that is associated with youth, and like other hormones, it declines with age, unfortunately. Low levels of human growth hormone lead to reduced muscle mass, increased body fat, reduced bone density, insulin resistance, cardiovascular problems, anxiety and depression, low exercise tolerance, fatigue, and insomnia. Essentially, low HGH manifests as the symptoms that we associate with aging, whereas increased levels of HGH improve body composition, stabilize mood, boost energy, and optimize immune function. Human growth hormone is the ultimate fat burner, and its production increases during fasting, which is one of the benefits of fasting, and one of the reasons that we want to do it. What is ketosis? Well, ketosis is a metabolic state characterized by high levels of ketones in the blood. Ketones are chemicals that are made in the liver and are produced when insulin levels are low and when glucose can't be used for energy. Ketosis can be achieved by restricting carbs to under 50 grams a day or by fasting. In this state, energy is created by burning stored body fat rather than burning glucose for fuel. With carbohydrates so plentiful, most people rarely enter ketosis, which is an adaptive metabolic pathway used in times of scarcity when sources of glucose aren't available. Ketosis is a normal state of metabolism, with ketones providing a reliable alternate energy source. There are many variations of the ketogenic diet, just as there are numerous ways to intermittent fast. The benefits of ketosis include hormone and blood sugar regulation, increased fat burning, appetite suppression, better utilization of oxygen, the preservation of muscle glycogen, increased mental focus, and better physical performance. What is autophagy? Well, autophagy is a hot topic. In fact, the Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded for work on autophagy, which means self-eating or self-consuming. And that's exactly what autophagy does. It recycles old, damaged, and diseased cellular components so they can be reused. Worn-out cells need to be replaced for systems in the body to function optimally. This recycling process is stimulated by fasting because the body cannot self-eat when food is coming in. Benefits of autophagy include reversal of insulin resistance, eradication of pathogens, increased detoxification, the improvement of degenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and even cancer, due to autophagy's favorable effect on tumor progression. Autophagy reduces inflammation, boosts stem cell production, balances hormones, increases growth hormone, and improves immune function. Notably, brain tumors have been shown to regress from autophagy. Autophagy is stimulated by fasting for at least 16 to 20 hours. For the process to be activated, glycogen stores need to be depleted and ketosis induced. All excess calories must be burned before autophagy kicks in. The number of calories previously consumed will be a determining factor as to when the process actually begins. Exercise and movement of all types will accelerate the depletion of glycogen, as will implementing a ketogenic diet. What is glucagon? Well, glucagon is a fat-burning hormone that is secreted by the pancreas, and it opposes the effects of insulin. Insulin is secreted by the beta cells within the gland, whereas glucagon is released from the alpha cells. The actions of insulin and glucagon work in tandem to keep blood sugar levels stable. The role of glucagon is to raise the concentration of fatty acids and glucose in the blood when insulin levels are low. High insulin levels, on the other hand, prevent the release of fat. When glucagon is elevated, glycogen in the liver is mobilized. Glucagon induces lipolysis, or the mobilization and breakdown of stored energy, the release of fat, when levels of insulin are low. It increases the expenditure of energy and is raised during times of stress, such as fasting. Now to the hourly benefits of fasting. Here are just some of the tremendous benefits of fasting broken down into specific time increments. Okay, what happens after you fasted 4 to 6 hours? Well, at the 4-hour mark, all food has left the stomach. That's why your stomach growls after about 4 hours. And it's not really your stomach, it's your small intestine. Blood sugar is decreasing, as well as insulin, which is no longer produced in the absence of glucose because no carbohydrates are coming in. If you consistently spaced your meals every 4 hours instead of eating every 2 hours like many people do, you would do a lot to regulate your hormones and your body weight. What happens after 8 hours? After 8 hours of fasting, glycogen reserves have been depleted. Gluconeogenesis is initiated as the body enters a fasted state. And remember that gluconeogenesis is where protein and fat are used for fuel instead of glucose. Since glucose is no longer available, the liver converts protein and fat into energy. Calorie burning ramps up, the basal metabolic rate slows, and the body becomes more efficient at using available energy. Due to this decrease in metabolic rate, blood pressure and heart rate both decrease. What happens after 12 hours of fasting? The body enters a healing phase after 12 hours without food. The digestive system begins to rest because there aren't any calories to burn. Levels of human growth hormone ramp up, and glucagon is secreted from the pancreas to keep blood sugar levels within the normal range. What happens 14 to 18 hours after you haven't eaten? At this point in the fasted state, the body begins to convert fat into glucose for energy. Human growth hormone continues to rise significantly as fat burning continues. The most incredible benefit of fasting is the cellular cleanup process of autophagy, which is mildly induced around the 16-hour mark. This is when things start to get good. Precisely when autophagy is activated will depend on several factors, such as how many carbs and how much protein were eaten at the last meal, if exercise was part of the picture, and if any fruit was consumed. And this is because fruit contains fructose, a sugar, which replenishes glycogen stores. What happens after 24 hours? The incredible process of autophagy really takes off at the 24-hour mark. Toxin elimination also ramps up. Fat burning is in full swing thanks to the rise in HGH and the reduction of insulin. Ketones, an efficient source of energy from fat, are released. The more insulin sensitive a person is, the faster lipolysis, or fat burning, will be induced, which underscores how critical exercise is because of its insulin lowering effects. What happens after 36 hours? The cellular cleanup, repair, and renewal process of autophagy continues to skyrocket. HGH production, fat burning, and toxin elimination continues due to the drop in insulin and boost in lipolysis. Reducing levels of insulin is very significant in itself, but so is the amount of time that levels remain low. This is why longer fasts yield such amazing results. But shorter fasts are really therapeutic also. Autophagy cannot be activated in the presence of insulin. What happens after 48 hours? Autophagy progresses unabated, accelerating up to 30% or more. After 2 days without food, the immune system begins to repair and regenerate. The inflammatory process is notably reduced as lipolysis is maintained. Toxins continue to be released as damaged molecules within the cells are broken down. What happens after 72 hours? Autophagy continues to work its magic. Many of the benefits attributed to calorie restriction stem from autophagy. The lower the levels of insulin are, the higher the rate of autophagy, which after 3 days of fasting can increase up to 5-fold. Like many other processes in the body, autophagy declines with age. As the rate of autophagy slows, cellular debris begins to accumulate. Insulin resistance, which is epidemic in today's society, accentuates the problem by further inhibiting autophagy. And think how many people are insulin resistant. This reduced rate likely accounts for many of the negative effects of obesity and diabetes. Fasting is a fantastic way to reset autophagy. Keep in mind, though, if you're going to fast for 72 hours, once a season is enough. Now I want to talk about detoxification reactions with fasting. Autophagy and toxin release can create a detox or Herxheimer's reaction. In addition to staying hydrated, binders and clays can be helpful for mopping up mobilized toxins before they can be recirculated. Common detox reactions may include headaches, joint pain, skin rashes and breakouts, irritability, insomnia, and fatigue. If you experience any of these symptoms, step up your detox strategies. Colonics, enemas, rebounding, exercise, Epsom salt baths, and infrared saunas are all great methods to eliminate toxicity, as is drinking plenty of filtered water to stay hydrated. In summary, aging is the result of the body's inability to repair and recycle. When damage accumulates, the signs of aging become visible. Fasting, through the stimulation of autophagy, can reset the rate at which the body is able to repair and heal. There's not a better strategy to look and feel younger longer. Do you have experience fasting? Did you know many of its benefits are attributed to autophagy? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.